Hey everyone, you're listening to Midlife Matters. I'm Marie, and each week I'm joined by my friends Julie and Mindy to talk about all the topics keeping women in the middle years up at night. On today's show, we're talking about spring and the joy it brings after the long, cold winter. Join us as we discuss ways we're renewing our minds, attitudes, homes, wardrobes, and more. Let's get started. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
I'm so happy to see you guys. A couple days ago was the first day of spring. Can you believe it?
So excited.
Wonderful. I'm very excited.
The warmer weather's here, the sun shines out, and we've got a great show for our listeners today. We're going to be talking all about ways to renew things in our homes, our minds, our wardrobes, because spring is really a time of renewal.
Yes, I'm still waiting for the sun to come out and the warmer weather.
Oh, well,
yes.
That's right. Pennsylvania spring is not quite here.
Now, I see all these beautiful pictures. I know our home in Tennessee has like spring trees that are blooming. I've got cherry trees.
Oh, yeah.
I've got redwoods and I've got daffodils and there's all of these things that are blooming. Hyacinth.
Oh,
well,
wow.
here everything is still bare.
Uh-huh.
And I was walking around a neighborhood the other day and I finally saw like 2 inches of a daffodil trying to come up out of the ground.
Oh, wow. Well, that's encouraging.
So, yeah, we're just a little behind, but yes.
Well, I feel like we haven't had all three of us on the podcast together in a while, so I'm excited to hear what's been going on with you guys.
Yeah, it's good to be back. What were you doing last week, Marie? How was your week?
Well, I spent spring break at Disney and lived to tell about it. So, you know, the crowds are big at Disney during spring break week. If you make use of their Fast Pass system, you can get quite a bit done. And I will say, Disney just does everything up very excellently. Even if you're waiting for rides, they have things that you can be watching. Yeah. Good memories, and I'm happy we did it. We got home at 12:30 last night. So, and we're recording at 8:30, listeners. So I've had like very little sleep. And I was working on my subject matter on the plane.
You did so good.
Good time for that.
Yeah, but what's up with you guys?
Well, my parents are currently visiting, which is a really big deal because we actually don't have a guest room or even room to have guests really in our townhome. So they actually chose to fly from Missouri, which my mom does not enjoy flying. So already that's a huge gift of love from her.
Oh, wow.
So they flew in from Missouri, rented a car. They're staying in a hotel that's like maybe a mile away from us. And we have had the best week together.
Oh, good.
Great.
My dad's birthday was yesterday, and we never really are together on birthdays. So it was a lot of fun to actually be with him on his birthday. But I felt like a kid again because the kids are at school, Bryce is at work, and I'm in the back of their rental car driving around Pennsylvania. Like we went to Amish country. I'm like, it's like back to when I was little. Like I'm in the back of the car.
That's funny.
So how about you, Julie? What's going on?
And it's always kind of funny here in Brentwood during spring break. I feel like it's a ghost town.
Oh,
yeah,
it's true.
And it's kind of fun, though, because I can get all the way to Green Hills in 10 minutes. Nobody's in my way.
That's true.
It's just so weird to think literally everybody's in Florida. So those of us left behind are free to drive around without all the traffic. So it was kind of nice. I did do one fun thing. Yesterday, I went shopping with this friend of mine. She's a stylist. She's actually a friend of my daughter's. The neat thing is she's going to be a guest on the podcast in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned and you can hear some really great tips about spring and wardrobe after 40 and things like that.
Oh, that's cool. Yes.
Okay, I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah.
I guess you can scratch that because I won't be talking about that.
Well, we did record that while Mindy was on vacation, but she'll be able to listen.
That's right.
Yeah, she is so good. So, yeah, you'll want to hear it.
That's really good. All right, so guys, the first area we're going to talk about is renewing your mind. So what is something that you're studying or reading?
In spring, I tend to think about faith a lot because I actually posted this on an Instagram probably a month ago when I first saw this little flower popping up. in my yard. I think it might be a crocus. I'm not even sure what it is, but it's a bulb type flower. So, it pops up when it's still cold. There might even be some snow on the ground, but there's this flower. And it's just a neat reminder of like new birth and renewal. I had heard this illustration from my favorite podcast, Experiencing My Strange Bible, where he talks about like I think he was from Minnesota and he experienced really harsh winters, lots of snow, lots of cold. But, every once in a while, like in February, you might experience a 45-degree day, like the sun's out and it's 45. And then all of a sudden you see all these crazy people wearing shorts and flip-flops. Like that doesn't really make sense. But it makes sense because the little crocus and the sunshine is a promise of things to come. Like, summer's coming, spring is coming, that winter is not eternal. Mm-hmm. And that motivates us to do things like, bring out the spring wardrobe. You're kind of getting a little taste of the thing that you'll fully experience later. And I think that's what faith is it's not like something that we have to muster up a belief in. It's an experience. Like when we read Hebrews, the behavior of Abraham, taking Isaac to be offered as a sacrifice, or them waiting on a child, he and Sarah, or him just getting up and moving when God told him to move. None of that made sense in light of their present circumstances. His obedience, Abraham's obedience, and our obedience to God makes about as much sense as walking around in the 45-degree weather in shorts. Of course, it doesn't make sense if you believe that winter is forever. But if you know that summer's coming, then it does make sense. That just was a neat illustration to me, seeing all these little flowers peep up early.
Oh, that is encouraging.
Love that. And ironically, that's similar to the direction that I went with this one, too. In Pennsylvania, I've been blessed to be able to be a part of a community Bible study. We are going through the lesson, the Red Sea to the Jordan. And so it's all about the Israelites' journey through the desert. And it has very much felt like a desert up here in Pennsylvania. It's felt lonely. It's been dark. It's been cold. We've had a hard time, really finding a great church home. Nothing is like what it used to be. And I feel like we've been essentially uprooted and taken so far away that we couldn't possibly keep, getting together with the same friends. Thankfully, I can text and we can talk and, things like that with friends. But we are very much having been picked up and moved. And I know the Lord brought us here. So I very much feel like we are blindly, but in faith, taking each step, trusting that God brought us here for a reason. Not understanding why, because things haven't been necessarily easy to come here. So I'm very much just reading his word. And that's the book that I'm diving into every day because I know that there's more. I know that he has a plan and I'm just excitedly looking to what that is going to be as he makes his plan known here for us.
Yeah, and you use the analogy of winter, of a desert, but you've also been in a winter, literally in Pennsylvania and figuratively. Yes. I think that's neat.
It's very true. It's felt like winter, but I've learned there's a really sweet joy and contentment when you surrender yourself to the winter season, to the dark places in life that do feel cold and lonely. There's a sweetness with your relationship if you know the Lord, that he carries you. You're so desperately looking at him, so when things like a friend at the YMCA who comes up to me and we meet and she invites me to her home, I realize that is a sweet gift from the Lord, that he's all that we have. And so every little thing that he gives us is so exciting.
And that winter's not forever.
It will not be forever.
It won't last forever.
Right. How about you, Marie?
We recently, all three of us, read Scarlett Hiltebeidel's book, Afraid of All the Things. And we're actually going to have her on next week. She's going to be talking about her book, and we're really excited for listeners to hear that. But I would just say that a lot of what she wrote is what I've been thinking about. And I would say that her book, Afraid of All the Things, I would say it's for anyone who struggles with worry and fear of what might happen. And really, who doesn't? I know this sounds terrible as a longtime Christian, like to admit this, but I do often fear that God is just about to bring the hammer down on me. Right. That life is good and at any moment I'll be made to feel sorry for not vigilantly watching for danger. And that may sound ridiculous, but I bet there are some listeners out there who can relate. And she has a chapter in her book called Please God, Don't Make Me Move to Africa. And you know when you read something and you think, how do they know that that's what I'm thinking and feeling? Well, this is one of those chapters. And I had been wrestling with this idea of complete surrender before I read this book. And then we read this book so that we could interview her. And I can't say that I'm done wrestling with it, but I am looking at my fears and trying to adjust my thinking. So I would just suggest that book for anyone who maybe can relate to anything that I said.
I think we can all relate to that. Mm-hmm. You know, whether it's a struggle or something you feel like you're combating daily.
Yeah. So that's really good. All right. What is something that you're trying to do to renew your spirit? What's something that you do for enjoyment or fun?
Well, I had something come my way that was unexpected. This is probably going to sound a little weird, but I am now a pen pal with a 14-year-old girl.
How did this come about?
We had a babysitter when our kids were really little in Memphis, and she was just one of our favorites. You know, she went on trips with us. We just loved her. And she now has 4 little girls of her own. Aww. And one of her daughters, I think she's 14, Lydia, wanted a pen pal because she loves to write and read. Her mom contacted me and said, Julie, would you be her pen pal? I thought, she goes, you love to travel and I think you might have a lot in common. So I said, well, sure. And it kind of reminded me when I was 10, I had a pen pal who lived in England. And I thought, I just remember like waiting by the mailbox for those letters. You know, I thought that was so cool. She wrote first and I got her letter last week. It was about 5 or 6 pages on the cutest little stationery.
Oh, that's so cute.
She told me all about herself. She loves to paint watercolor. She reads Jane Austen.
Oh, she's like mini Julie.
I do not read Jane Austen.
Oh, I loved Jane Austen.
I feel like it's above me. Oh, she loved being outside. It was just really cool. And she signed her letter, Your Loving Pen Pal.
Oh,
and I just thought
cute.
that was the sweetest thing. So I signed my letters, Your Loving Pen Pal. So I'm just so excited about this. It is. I told her when we go on our trips, because she's never been out of the country. She's only 14, but she wants me to send her some postcards from.
Oh, that'll be so fun.
From foreign countries and stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited.
I love that, Julie. That is so cool.
And have you ever gotten the chance to meet her in person, even when she was little?
I saw her when she was little. Yes.
Okay.
She was probably 4 or 5.
Oh, that's cute.
And I've seen them on Facebook. You know.
Sure.
Right.
I think eventually I'll want to talk to her in person, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's really fun.
All right, Mindy, what are you doing for fun or enjoyment this spring?
Well, I have to say there were a couple of days last week where it actually got up to 60 degrees here in Pennsylvania.
Woo,
I was so excited. So what I was doing was I was outside walking. I went for several walks a day, the 2 days that it was nice outside. I'm so excited to get out. And that just renews me to see the trees, see the new life coming out of the ground. It's my favorite thing to do.
Yes.
Soaking it all in.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are so many enjoyable things to do in the spring. I had a lot of fun last week, and it's going to sound crazy to people, but I don't mind cleaning. We had a porch built last year. And over the winter, of course, you know, because it's only screened in, we don't use it that much. So it had a lot of cobwebs. All the furniture kind of had this thin film of mildewy type stuff on it. There was just a lot that needed to be cleaned up. And it was beautiful one day. And it was great to get out the broom and, you know, the scrubbing bubbles and just kind of get that porch. And now every time I walk by it, I think, oh, pretty soon the weather's going to be beautiful and I'm going to be able to sit out there.
Yay!
Yes.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most fun things about spring is getting your outside spaces back to where you can enjoy them.
Right.
Yeah, I always call it opening day for the porch. I know that I'm back out there.
All right, our attitudes. I mean, winter attitudes are different than spring attitudes. Mm-hmm. What are you guys doing to renew and spruce up those attitudes?
This was pretty easy. I kind of bullet pointed this. And so if you've heard my weight loss journey, it's just continuing to not run to food like just continuing to know that I'm not going to find solace there, but running to God and then just trusting God. And so this is an attitude that even picking up in the springtime, just continuing to trust him with what he's doing, that he'll make our path straight, because we're going to be going through a lot of changes in the next couple months. I'm just continuing to choose to trust the Lord.
That's something we can always be renewing. Julie, do you have an attitude or philosophy that is speaking to you this spring?
Yeah, mine was about joy. I was going through some passages in Romans. If any of you have ever heard Timothy Keller, he has some commentaries on Romans. And Romans 8:28 has always been a verse that I've kind of struggled with, that all things work together for good to those that love God. I thought, why is my joy not relentless? Like that it comes and goes, that it's kind of goes with the circumstances that I'm in. And I don't think this is any belief that I would ever state, that I believe that, I'm a Christian, so therefore my circumstances should be better. But I live that way. I don't say that I believe it, but it comes out.
Right.
And, the verse that all things work together for good implies that all things happen to Christians. Our lives are better, but the circumstances are not ever promised to be better. And I think that our expectations get us in trouble. I tend to think I expect good things as normal. Like that is the norm. And when something bad happens, what is wrong? Like, God, really? I've been living for you, or our family is like this, or we try to do this and this is what we get, like I just, in my heart, that's the belief that I'm living by, and it's not right. And he said that when things work together for good, you have to know that it's only because of God. Even science tells us, like the word entropy says, that everything's going to chaos. Everything's falling apart. Everything's decaying. People are going to die. People are going to get sick. Relationships break apart. And I'm going somewhere positive with this, I promise. But he said, like, when you look at the beautiful sand on a beach, it was once a mountain. Like it's just the way of the world. The burden of sin on our world is that things go bad. So the positive is when you look around and see anything good, then it is only because of God. And I thought that was just a cool perspective. Like if I've got my health today, if I take a walk with a friend, if the sun is shining, if I have a delicious meal, then it inspires gratitude. Like that is only the only way things ever work together for good is because of God.
Our expectations can really get us into trouble. And I was talking about renewing an attitude or philosophy, trying to get ideas frantically in the airport last night. But anyways, my daughter-in-law, she was on the group chat with me. She said something that I often pair this with, don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. And she said, perfect doesn't mean things going the way you planned. And I'm always full of ideas of how things should look or be. And even if something turns out well, it sometimes takes me a while to come around to fully liking the outcome because it's not how I set it up in my mind.
Right.
And how many things ever actually do turn out the way you have them set up in your mind?
Yeah. It's funny, like surrendering, being flexible and being able to find what's good when it's different than what you thought it was going to be.
Well, and kind of back to what I was saying is Timothy Keller said something interesting. He said, I don't think that the bad things happening are what robs people of joy. It's the shock that it did happen.
The Bible tells us, like, in this world, you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. I feel like there's a couple of things that have kind of hit my mind over the past month or so that have shocked me. And it's like every time I come to that point, no matter what it is, it kind of sends me into a bit of a tailspin. And then it's like this light bulb will go off. And I remember I start thinking, well, has God changed? No. Has the Bible changed? Well, no. Like, is he still good? Well, yeah, he is. So can I trust him? And it gets me back to that trust piece that I mentioned that is my philosophy is, am I going to trust him with this? And it's like each thing that comes, I have to get to that point of asking myself, okay, now can he be trustworthy with this? And the answer is always yes, though it takes time to get there.
All right, let's take a look at our bodies. Julie, what's something you're doing for better health now that spring has come?
Well, I'm glad to say that I'm not actually changing anything. I am just going to keep doing what I'm doing. So I'm going to continue my workouts. And I will say that walking is a great thing that I enjoy. And for those of you that don't know, Marie and I walk on Wednesday mornings. And I like to joke and say it's cheaper than counseling because it's just a good, safe place to vent and find out that you're pretty normal.
Right.
And bounce ideas off and be a listener. So I'm just really grateful for that time each week, Marie.
Oh, good. We haven't been able to walk the past couple of weeks because of spring break and some other things. So we'll have to get back to it.
Yeah.
Mindy, how about you?
Okay, well, I'll start out with saying that for taking care of myself, I did go and buy some new exercise shoes.
Oh.
So that was the first thing. It's just, you got to look good. All right.
Yes.
So when we talk about fashion, like part of my fashion is my workout clothes because I feel like I live in those. So first, I got some new shoes that I'm totally excited about. I do exercise often. And I am trying to eat well, but there's a couple of different exercises I'm going to try. I typically do certain things, and everyone knows I love to walk. I love to use weights, body resistance exercises, but I'm actually going to try to start swimming, which is actually a big deal because it means my hair is going to get wet.
I know. So, I hate that part of swimming.
I'm just going to have to try to surrender that. I really struggle with it. Like I got used to my hair getting sweaty and dirty and ponytail, but this is a new level, like to get it wet.
Well, and it's not even just wet, but to get it chlorine wet.
Oh, it stinks.
Is it salt water or chlorine?
It's chlorinated. The indoor pool at the Y is chlorinated. But my friend Katie swims. And so I'm just like, okay, because I have a friend, I think I can try to do this. I think it's better on your joints as you get older. You know, there's not so much pounding that happens because I love plyometrics. But the older I get, I'm like, that's probably not the best thing to continue to do to my body. So I'm looking for nicer things to do to my body. Pilates, yoga, swimming, walking, still incorporating the weights, but just looking for kinder ways to exercise that are more long-term.
That's great. Well, I'm similar to Julie. I just feel like I pretty much keep up the same workout routine year round. I do feel like I probably in the spring make an adjustment from winter eating to spring and summer eating. You know, like winter is more of like comfort, a little bit heavier type foods, and I really crave those. Like I do not want a salad for dinner in the winter. That is not
I
warm
totally agree.
or comforting or satisfying. But in the spring and summer, I feel like you eat more fresh fruits and vegetables. You eat kind of lighter fare. So I do look forward to that when spring comes around. And you start to see less expensive fruits and vegetables in the grocery stores too. And they're fresher, greener, more colorful.
They actually taste good.
They taste a lot better. Yeah.
Yes,
they're supposed to taste.
Right. All right. How are we renewing our homes? Something that you're doing to improve function, flow, or appearance. I'll go first on this because mine's really small. But I was at my sister's a couple of weeks ago, and she wanted some help renewing her home. We were hanging a bunch of pictures and looking at her entryway and things like that. And we were moving around the pillows on her couch, and she mentioned that she had gotten these throw pillow covers off Amazon, and they were kind of wintry. They were like a faux fur type look. And she said in the spring, she'll just unzip them, fold them, and put them in the closet, which is so much less room than if you had to actually switch out your pillows, which is what I would tend to do. You know, buy a winter pillow, now switch it out for a spring pillow. I never thought about just switching the covers. So I went on Amazon. They have every kind of pillow cover you can imagine. And I got 2 pillow covers for $14.99, which I think is awesome.
Wow.
Way cheaper than buying a new pillow, and you get 2. Right. So anyways, I think that's a fun way. And you can get all kinds of spring designs, and you don't feel like you've spent a lot of money, and it's not a huge amount to store.
That is a good idea. I probably need to get rid of my plaid Christmas pillow on the couch then.
You can just keep that in the closet and then order a new one.
Well, it has a cover, so I could.
That is a cover.
I could unzip it. I just have never known what to put on it, so I'll have to look at that.
And sometimes I've seen pillow covers at like Bed Bath and Beyond, but they don't have an awesome selection.
Right.
You know, they're kind of like solid colors.
Mhm.
Amazon, you can just keep on looking for a very long time.
And lots of different sizes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You can even filter it by the size.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
check it out. How about you guys? What are you doing to improve your home?
Well, I just finished a big project. And Marie, I know I'd ask you for help on something I wanted to
Oh.
do at the house, a gallery wall. But since I was in Ghost Town all spring break and nobody was here, I just couldn't wait any longer. And so I did it myself.
Well, I hope you took before and after.
I did. And I had this really big vaulted ceiling wall in my den that I've never liked. It's just a white wall. And no matter what you put on it, it's just not big enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just there's no windows or anything on this wall. It's just a blank wall. So I wanted to make a gallery wall. I had seen one at a friend's house and thought, oh, that looks really, really nice. So I thought I'd have to buy a lot of things and I didn't want to get into an expensive project. So I just started shopping my house and I started pulling pictures off of walls from other rooms. And I would just bring them down to the den and stack them. And I even went to some closets and found things that we used to hang that we don't hang anymore. You know, once this pile kind of grew, I thought, I think I have enough to do this.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I saw an idea on Pinterest to put up that blue painter's tape. So I kind of made a grid on the wall because the wall is just so big. I could kind of lay the pictures out on the floor, the shape of that space, and hang them up. And I had to get my big 12-foot ladder. I mean, I was up to the top of this thing.
Now, did John know you were working on this? Because I know that he doesn't like to be surprised by projects.
And he doesn't like to help with these projects. So I had started it in the afternoon and then I took a break for dinner and I said, when you get home, I'm going to be finishing this project. So he and David, I think, watched a movie and I didn't even want their help. I just wanted to do it by myself.
Yes.
And so it is probably the most favorite thing I have ever done at the house. It
I
looks
cannot
so
wait
good.
to see a picture.
When you walk in, your eye just naturally goes up now and the room feels so much bigger because you feel like you notice the height of the wall.
Right.
And I love all the pictures. I mean, 2 nights I've just sat in the chair and stared at this wall.
Oh, that is so cool.
I love all the pictures. They're all pictures that we've had for a long time and they all kind of have a nautical theme and there's some other things up there, but I really, really like it. So,
oh, that's great.
Yeah, I'll post some before and afters.
Yes, I would love to see that because I've had walls like that in the past and it's hard to know what to do with them.
Yeah. Now I do have some blank walls elsewhere now.
Sure.
Oh, right.
Okay. Well, I have to say, I did notice that you did something. I was going to say kudos to you. You talked about before how when you got into a project, you had a hard time stopping. But you said you actually took a break to eat dinner and then went back to it. I was really proud of you for that.
I did think about that. I thought this will ease the pain of it with John because I was like, oh, I've got to stop. And I had this really nice dinner ready. And then I was like, now I'm going back to my project. So yes, that was a conscious effort.
You did so good.
Yay.
Okay. Well, mine, I waited to go last because renewing my home, we're going to be moving again into a new home. So I don't know where it is yet, though. So that's the fun part. Like, surprise, I have no idea. We are starting to look around for where we will move more permanently in Pennsylvania. So we want to stay right kind of where we are. We love the area that we're at. Stay in the same school district for Grant to be a senior next year at high school. But I've started to look at homes. For the past 7 months, we've lived in corporate housing, thankfully provided to us to make this transition easier. So it's been very simple, very easy. We've rented all of our furniture. When I've gone back to our Knoxville house, I walk in and it's this huge empty shell of a house full of all of this furniture. It's staged really to perfection. And I look around and when we come back home, I think, wow, I don't need most of that stuff, because we have downsized so much. And so what I'm really excited about this spring is that in the next couple months, we'll make another transition. I'll be excited to share with you what that will be, but then just downsizing. We know we need more space than where we're currently at, but I don't want to go back to the huge house. I don't want to go back to all the stuff.
And without this time, you would have not come to that realization.
Oh, no. But it really is nice to not spend every waking moment trying to take care of a home and stuff. Like life is not about the stuff. And it really was somewhat overwhelming.
Oh, that's awesome. I look forward to seeing and hearing where you guys end up.
Yes, me too. That'll be a transition for us again.
Yes, yes.
Hey, I have one more thing on the home thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We just finished our bathroom remodel. So last weekend we got all moved back in, and it's been really nice. But we have this new shower, and it has frameless glass. So it's just really beautiful glass, but it's a lot of glass. And it looks beautiful right now, but I think, there's a lot of potential for some soap scum on that.
Right.
Thing. We were told that the glass was going to be treated with something that made the water kind of bead up and it would be really easy to clean. Turns out we didn't order that glass. Somehow there was a mix-up. We didn't get that glass. John got on Amazon and started looking up products that they treat the glass with. And we bought it, and it's pretty much a miracle product.
Really?
You're going to want to get some. Yes, it's called Clean X, like CLEANX, Invisible Shield, Glass Cleaner and Protector. So you can clean the glass, but it's also something that will protect it. And so we've only used it once before we even got in the shower. And the water just beads up, and we have a little squeegee and just squeegee it off. And it looks just like we've never even used the shower.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's amazing. And then I started cleaning all our windows with it, because every time I clean a window, it leaves it looks clean. And then when the sun comes through, it's all streaked and everything. Right. It is amazing. So it's almost like Rain-X.
Like Rain-X for your car windshield.
Yes, that's what it basically is, except I had tried using Rain-X on our old shower when I heard this, and the smell was I'm sure it was toxic. This doesn't have any odor or anything. Yeah.
We'll have to put a link to that in the show notes.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yes. That's a life changer.
All right, family life. What are you doing to connect more with your family members this spring?
We're going to be getting back out, taking day trips. I can't wait to get back to the Jersey Shore.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot wait for that. Exercising, we love to hike, start hitting the trails again now that it's starting to get a little bit warmer. Planning we're going to do like short family vacations. There's so many places we want to go. And so instead of doing like a week here for family vacation, we're going to go to the Massachusetts shore for like a long weekend.
Oh, cool.
We want to go to Niagara Falls, just a lot of different places. So over the summer, we're going to do a lot of short trips. But also, I'm super excited. We get to bring Abby home for the summer.
Oh, awesome. So she's for sure coming home for the summer.
She is. And what's so cool about it is she's actually, the boys' spring break here is not until April 17th.
Woo.
Because we're so late. And then she's actually done with college for the summer, the end of April.
Oh, awesome.
We'll have spring break, which we're actually going to Tennessee. I'm taking my son Grant on college visits there.
Okay.
And then like 2 weeks later, I go back and pick her up and bring her home for the summer.
Oh, fun.
So I get Abby all to myself while the boys are still in school until mid-June.
Oh, wow. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes, that's great. I feel like I spend a lot of time with our family as a whole, but maybe, when you have a big family, it's hard to have that one-on-one time with people. Yes. So we've planned a trip with just Abigail and Nick. That's my oldest daughter and her husband. And we're going to go to Asheville for the weekend. It's Asheville, North Carolina. That's someplace Abigail's wanted to visit for a while. So I think that'll be fun just to get away together, kind of have some one-on-one time.
That will be fun. Asheville's nice.
Yes. She'll love it.
The weather should be getting quite nice in April.
When do you do it? Oh, in April?
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that this spring.
Well, I'm really excited. My daughter and her husband just bought a house. They're actually moving in today. They got their move-in day. Yeah, they got it moved up in April. In about 2 weeks, I'm taking my mom with me, and we're flying to Lubbock, and we're going to get to help them. They should be moved in and all. They've got a few repairs to do and stuff, but we'll get to help maybe with some organization or decorating or something like that.
Yes.
So, and my mom's not been there yet, so it'll just be exciting.
Yes.
Hopefully they'll be in a position where we can, stay in their house and enjoy a visit. So we'll be there. We'll leave on a Thursday and come back Monday. So it'll be a nice visit.
Oh, that's so exciting. And I remember when we were talking about one of our previous episodes, you were saying that time of your life, moving into your first house, was something that you would love to repeat. And it's going to be so fun to help your daughter move into hers.
Yeah. Yeah. I love all that. Cool. Like even just moving back into our bathroom. It's just fun organizing
I
and,
know.
finding a place for everything.
I know. I can't wait to do that myself.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. We're taking a look at our social lives, something that we're doing to renew or connect with friends, or something that you're doing to meet new friends.
I look forward to just like getting out and walking with friends. Like you guys walk on Wednesdays. Katie and I love to walk together. And we have been stuck on the indoor track at the Y, where you start to feel kind of like a hamster.
Yes, yes.
But
we know that.
Oh, yeah. We're both like so excited to walk and talk. But, if we can get outside and actually not be on the hamster wheel.
Right.
But the other fun social thing that I'm doing is my good friend Holly in Atlanta texted, and we've already got a cruise booked for January.
Oh,
We're all so excited. It's a great time in January to go away with your girlfriends because you've been through like the long Christmas break. Everyone's back in school. Like 2 weeks later, like January, I think it's around the 17th or something. But I'm putting that out there because friends, if you need to get away with your friends, plan it, like get it on the calendar. That day will come and you'll be going.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. One of the things I wanted to share was that someone at our church recently had a girls' night in. Is that what you were going to share too, Julie? Well, yeah. Mindy, it was so fun. She invited like 50 people. I don't know exactly how many came.
Right.
Quite a few, though.
I'd say 25 or 30
or something. Yeah. And it was really fun. And she said everyone should just bring food and then you could come at 6 and stay as late as you want. So a lot of the people there I did not know. So it was really fun to go around and talk to them. And then I never, ever do this. I got home at like 1:30 that night. And I never stay up that late. My kids were kind of like, "What, Mom? You didn't get to bed till 2?" They were like flabbergasted. And it's just so fun to do that. I wouldn't want to do it necessarily all the time just because I would lose so much sleep, but it was so fun. I feel like after a certain hour, people start to talk about different things than they do the first hour. So anyways, that was really fun. And I would love to do something like that again.
That's so funny because that's exactly what I thought about. One of the things that I put down that was kind of special to me was that it was multi-generational, which it cracked me up because I thought I made it multi-generational and maybe 3 other people. Everybody was really young except for 3 of us.
Oh,
not true,
funny,
Julie.
So it was multi-generational. But I really appreciated the invite because I know that we're not necessarily in her normal circle of friends. And it was just really nice to go and hang out with no agenda. It was just to have fun and meet new people. She made it potluck. So on her end, I mean, she may have cleaned your house, but she didn't have to do a lot of prep. It was even open invitation. Like if you'd wanted to invite a friend, you could do that. It wasn't. We played card games.
I learned a new game that I had never played before, but not everybody had to play games. It was just very casual. All right. Who's trying some new foods this spring? What are you doing to spice up those taste buds?
Oh, I am into sheet pan dinners.
I have heard a lot about those on Instagram.
I've tried 3 and I've liked them all. And it's just so fun to have this one pan to clean up. The last one I had was you took broccoli and new potatoes and you put on this lemon butter garlic sauce. And then you sliced the lemons and put over the broccoli and the potatoes, roasted those in the oven. And in the last 5 or 10 minutes, you put on shrimp.
Ooh.
And you served that all over brown rice. David said, Mom, if you want to have this 2 nights a week, I'd be fine with it. And it was so easy. So easy.
Can you please post your recipes?
I will.
I would love that because I'm already a fan of my crock pot. But the one, I'm all about like the one thing.
Yes.
And that is more of a spring type. I feel like the roasted vegetables, I feel like I like that more in the summer.
Oh,
it's just so easy. And then I've done one in the winter, like smoked sausage and new potatoes. That was really good. I love Brussels sprouts, so I'll always roast Brussels sprouts. I've done one with chicken thighs with this herb de Provence, the spices, and then just serve it with new potatoes. And then I saw one, Meredith, on our shopping trip yesterday, told me that she and her sister had made one where you line the pan with tortillas, fill it with all the makings of quesadillas, and then kind of flip the tortilla Like they kind of
That's
overlap
cool.
the pan and you flip them back over and you make this giant sheet pan quesadilla. She said it was really, really good.
Wow.
And then you
Sounds
just
really cool.
cut it into squares. That's kind of my new thing. I love them.
Oh, that's
great.
great. Yes.
Well, Marie, you mentioned this earlier, but I just feel so excited about fruits and vegetables again.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like it's like spring is hitting and I can't wait to, dessert is a fresh fruit or like making smoothies or finding different ways to make vegetables and to make fruit kind of fun. But just also, I love the varieties that are available and the taste. It's just so refreshing. So I get all excited about fruits and vegetables again.
If you've not ever roasted a vegetable, it totally changes the flavor. Like cauliflower and broccoli, which my husband wouldn't normally like, it is delicious roasted. It really changes the flavor of it. And new potatoes, Brussels sprouts, carrots, I just roast them all on a pan with a little olive oil and some salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yum.
Well, this isn't something that I'm making, but I did try something new at Disney this week. The first night we were there, we went to Disney Village for dinner. They have a lot of different restaurants, but the one the girls really wanted to eat at was a Japanese restaurant. And Steve wanted to eat there too. And if anyone knows me, I do not like Asian food. Like, I just never like the taste of it, probably because my first experience was Suzy Wan in a can that my mom used to make while we all cried that we were going to have to eat it. No. If you've ever had canned Chinese food as a kid, you never want to eat Chinese food again.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Suzy Wan, literally my brother would start crying when he was little. It's kind of a joke in our family. But anyways,
you shouldn't let that be your only experience.
Oh, I know.
With Asian food.
And all of my other siblings have since gone on to try and like Asian food, and my parents too. But for me, even when I went to like Shogun and stuff, I don't know. I just don't like the taste. But anyways, we did. I thought, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the Japanese restaurant. Okay, so this is not that weird for other people, but I tried a California roll. It was really good.
Yes.
Very good. I tried fried rice. I really did like it. And I tried the orange chicken, and it was excellent. So I would definitely eat those in the future.
Oh, good, Marie.
I'm so proud of you, Marie.
To some people, that's probably like trying a piece of bread. But for me, it was way outside.
It sounds like there's a lot of emotion involved with that. So you did really good overcoming that childhood fear.
And I really feel like those, like especially the California rolls, would be such an easy thing to pick up and eat in the spring and summer. They're cold, which I don't mind cold food in the spring and summer. They're healthy. They looked healthy. Maybe they aren't in real life.
We have a grocery store here called Wegmans, and it's like the really nice grocery store of the north, I guess.
Yes, I love Wegmans, Mindy.
Okay. Well, I get that for lunch a lot. They have like a lunch portion size of like different sushi options. They make it every day because I've been there at like 8:30 in the morning and watched them. I'll go pick that up for lunch a lot. But yeah, it's really fresh.
Costco makes it too, Marie.
Oh, that's right. I'll have to look into it. Yes. Yeah. Mindy, before we go on, I have to just tell you now, if anyone listens and they're from the north, they probably know Wegmans, but I mean, we love Wegmans. And when my kids were little, I don't know if they still have this, but they actually had a wonderful place in the middle of the store set up with childcare workers that you could drop your children off while you grocery shop. It was awesome.
They no longer have that, Marie.
Oh, they don't? Okay.
They've changed it to a market. They have an Asian bar for you.
Okay.
But they have all these hot bars, like ready to eat food right then. But yes, my friend Katie said that that's how she used to meet friends, was they would go to Wegmans, drop their kids in the childcare. And I was like, I have never heard of this before.
It was awesome.
Apparently that's how moms in the north make it through the winter.
And you could even like drop them off there. I think you were maybe allowed to, they could stay in there maybe up to 2 hours. And they always had a great little coffee shop. So you could like go and meet your friends for coffee. Your kids were playing and they always had a great time in there. I mean, they weren't crying. They were happy to be in there. You could do your grocery shopping, even go outside and load all your groceries back in your car, then go back in and get them, you know.
Can you just go ahead and go home and unload them too?
Yeah, I was going to say, can you leave the store?
But I have never heard of that with any other grocery store. All right, time for beauty routines. spring and summer, time to shake things up a little bit. Mindy, you are jumping up and down. What do you have for us?
Beauty routine, it's all about easy,
right,
simple, outside, like breezy hair. But I am actually going to go get my hair done next week. And I know that this particular hair thing, like to color it, has been out there for a while for younger people. And I told my stylist last time, I was like, I feel like I'm too old to do this style. She started laughing at me, but she'd asked me last time if I wanted to do a shadow root.
Ooh.
So like my hair is light and I get highlights also because I love those like white blonde pieces that I would naturally get, but I just like them more than just in the front. So I'm going to do a shadow root.
And
I'm
what
really
describe
stepping-
that exactly what that is.
So a shadow root, so it doesn't look like it's grown out. Like it already looks a little grown out almost when you get it done. So then the color, like if you get it highlighted, it doesn't come all the way to your root.
Okay.
And I really just want like my natural color. So I'm going to, she said I was not too old to do that.
We're going to have to post a picture of that on Instagram, Facebook. If you're not following us, listeners, we're going to have tons of things to post with this episode. So Midlife Matters Podcast on Instagram. Sign up.
That's right. That's right. I've got a ton of things when we talk about the fashion. I have this huge list.
Awesome. Julie, do you switch up your beauty routine in the spring and summer?
Not really, but I kind of have been looking for things this spring just because of my hair transition. You know, I told you I was looking for some new makeup, and I went to the cosmetic market and I did find, I wanted to quit wearing powders. So I found this tinted BB cream for my foundation to kind of even out my skin. And I've been enjoying that. And then I have found these hair products that I don't know if I'm maybe just an advertiser's dream.
Okay.
Sucker or what. But have you seen like ads that come on Facebook? I'm just kind of drawn to those. Like I am an infomercial person. It's dangerous. Like late at night. I mean, that's how I first bought Bare Minerals. It was like 1 a.m. I was like, I must have this. So, it was this hair stuff, and the brand is Lange, L''ANGE. Have you ever seen it on Instagram?
No.
Because it was like flooding mine. I think I watched a video. I followed this woman on how she did her hair. And I think that must have connected me to the product because she was a link to that.
That's interesting. Lange.
I loved their products. I bought the Glaze, which is a hair lotion, and it's thermal and UV protection.
Ooh.
And so I don't use conditioner anymore. You just put a little bit on afterwards. And it feels like it's water-based. Like it's not heavy. It's not sticky. I love it. And then I bought the mousse. I love their mousse. And then I bought the Salt and Sea texture spray. And I love all three. And they smell heavenly. I mean, they smell all like, one of them even kind of has a cilantro smell to it, which I really like.
Oh.
Now, I think if you use Care 50, everything's 50% off. I bought my stuff on sale. So
awesome.
Yeah. For 2 of the products, I just bought the trial size.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to spend a lot of money if I didn't like it or whatever, but I really do.
Well, I feel like in the spring and summer, we need different hair products. So something I've been seeing a lot, there's so many different blow dryers out there. I mean, who knew? Who knew? But this one that I really am interested in getting is called Revlon Oval One-Step Hair Dryer and Volumizing Styler. Basically, I think it kind of eliminates the need for a straight iron after blow drying. And it's supposed to be a 2-in-1 hair dryer and volumizer that causes less damage to hair than blow drying. And it has an oval brush. So those kind of always look to me like they're going to get caught in my hair. But people are really raving about this. So I feel like I want to try it. It says it creates frizz-free volume and full-bodied curls at the end. And it's also less heat damaging, than your curling irons or your straight irons. So I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of that?
I've seen them, but I haven't used one.
And I haven't invested in one yet. So I'll be interested if you decide to do that.
Yeah, I think I want to try it because my hair in the spring and summer, it just absorbs every bit of humidity.
I say it's so humid outside.
Yes. And so I'm wondering if that would help with that. And a lot of times I don't like to blow dry my hair, especially in the summer, because it's just too hot afterwards. Like heats up your whole body. And, this, I think it's supposed to dry your hair faster than a regular blow dryer. So you wouldn't be having that hot air on you the whole time. So I'll have to let you know. Our last thing is, what are we doing to spruce up our wardrobe this spring?
Because I don't have a house, I had to focus on my clothes.
That's right.
Okay. My favorite color is yellow. Okay,
well, that is very popular right now.
Well, okay. It's in my house. Like it's my accent color in my living room in my Tennessee home.
I do remember that. Yes.
Okay. It's such a happy, joyful color. In the stores right now, there's a lot of yellow out though. And I just bought these super cute sandals from Target. So like chunky sandals and colors are really popular right now. Very feminine, like florals and ruffles. And it's just such a feminine look that's out right now. I just am so excited about all the fashion that's kind of starting to come out in the store right now, because
that's super
beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. I just need some warm weather to wear it.
I know. I feel like you're in for a bit of a wait, Mindy.
Yeah.
No, like I bought the shoes. I'm like, yeah, I'll wear these in 6 months.
Julie, how about you?
Well, like I said, I went shopping yesterday with Meredith, and we went out to Opry Mills, which I never go to.
Yes.
So we left at 11. I got home at 5:30.
Oh,
said,
my.
Meredith, you're killing me. I said,
yes.
I never shop that long. And usually because I go in and get frustrated and just leave,
Right,
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, every store we went in, I'd walk in and she'd go, try this on, this on, this on. I was like, okay, I like it. And we'd buy it and I'd leave. And we'd go to the next store. And so I was looking for pants because it just seems like pants have gotten tighter and skinnier. And I just didn't like them. I just couldn't find. So I got 4 pair of pants.
Wow.
I got 3 dresses. My goal was to get a dress for a wedding that I'm going to. And so I got that. And then I couldn't decide between these other 2. And she said, if you find something that fits and that looks good and you like it, I would probably just go ahead and get it. So I did. Shoes, I never know what goes. I'll have an outfit and I won't wear it because I think, what goes with this? So I bought 3 pair of shoes.
Wow.
I may end up taking one back because 2 are kind of similar. But one was a platform shoe that had the kind of the grass rope heel.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Those are really comfortable because I don't tend to wear heels because of they're just not comfortable. But since your whole foot is elevated, your foot's not being forced down on your toes.
Right.
I thought, they look more stylish. They weren't too tall and they were more comfortable.
That's what my yellow ones look like, Julie.
Yeah. And I got a yellow polka dot skirt. I'm into polka dots, and it was yellow.
It's everywhere right now.
Well, I need to take some inspiration from you guys. I have not worked on my spring wardrobe at all, but you can see me this morning.
Yes.
I am wearing my spring hat. I think it's the only spring item I've bought other than the Minnie Mouse shirt I took to Disney World. Target has a lot of cute hats right now, and this one is all floral, baseball cap type, style, but I really feel like it just springs up your look a little bit. It makes me feel a little happy since there really aren't a lot of flowers blooming right now. So
great.
So if you want to get some cute shoes or a cute hat or cute dresses, now's the time of year, especially with all the floral prints. I do love a good floral print.
Yeah.
And everything was on sale yesterday. They were
awesome.
Good sales. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't know about our listeners, but I certainly feel like I am ready for spring after this episode, and I'm excited for it.
Yes.
I'm holding my breath. Well, maybe I shouldn't.
It will come.
We'll be sharing a lot of what we talked about in our show notes, and we'll have a lot of what we talked about on our Instagram and our Instagram stories. So if you are not following us, we hope you will. We'd love to see what you guys or hear what you guys are doing for spring too, because I know that I get inspiration from other people.
Oh, yes.
All right, Mindy and Julie, we have a special guest next week. Don't forget. And listeners, if you want to get a little preview of Scarlett's book, Afraid of All the Things, Scarlett Hiltebeitel will be with us next week to talk about her book. And it was just an awesome conversation. I can't wait to share with listeners.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's a good one.
It is. It was one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Loved the book.
Yes. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
All right. Sounds great.
All right. Bye. Friends, we're so glad you joined us today. If you enjoy Midlife Matters, we hope you'll tell a friend. Show them how to find us on their phone and hit the free subscribe button so that they never miss an episode. They can also download and listen to each episode right from our website, midlifematterspodcast.com. We'd love to hear from you. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Midlife Matters Podcast. You can also email us at midlifematterspodcast@gmail.com. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you back here next Wednesday. Bye.